What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of All the Mods Expert Mode. Oh yeah, guys. So last episode, we started working towards getting ourselves a witch spawner. We made ourselves a RESTURBED spawner, and we made ourselves diamond spikes. Both of those weren't exceptionally easy to do, but we got them done. So I've been figuring out where I want to place this witch spawner, and over in this general area, we had a bunch of lakes, a lot of water spots. There was like a little lake here, a little lake there. I think there was another one here that had a lot of sand. So I went through, I removed all the sand, filled it all in with dirt, and just kind of like leveled it out. There's no real reason for us to have all those different water features around. So anyway, I think we're going to put the witch spawner right here. This will be the center point. I think we're going to do a 3x3 drop. So yeah, we'll have to put blocks like in a 5x5 around this. So it'll be 3x3 on the inside. We'll probably drop the witches down 4 or 5 blocks, something. And then we'll have an 11x11 on the outside area with a spawner in the center so they can all spawn in, get filtered in the center, drop down. I think that's kind of what we're going to do here. Very, very basic, nothing super fancy, but it's going to allow us to get those witches spawned in and killed, and then the items collected like we need. Yeah, the witches are going to be dropping the items that we want, like the glowstone, which we have to go to the nether and farm all the time, which is annoying. Redstone, which isn't super important, but I'm sure we'll get a lot of use out of it. And then gunpowder, which we also need for our rockhounding stuff over here. Yeah, we can put the gunpowder, I think, through this mineral sizer. Is that right? No, we put the gunpowder through an extractor to get sulfur out of it. Something like that. We needed it for one of those purposes, and we didn't have a way of collecting gunpowder before. So here we go. I removed our experience obelisk and our, what do we have over here? The enchanter and our anvil. We removed all those things. I put them downstairs. I started cleaning up the walls down here a little bit, flattening them, well, not flattening them out, but filling in the holes and stuff. This one, obviously I didn't do, but all the walls are pretty good now. We had like that big opening over here where the trees are poking through. So yeah, that's all filled in, that's gotten rid of. I expanded out our nether warts a little bit. We do have to break these in order to get some of the infernal bulbs, I think is what they are. I can't remember exactly, from roots. So we have to have these plants fully grown, and then we have to break them, not just right click on them, break them to get those parts. So I wanted to expand that out a little bit. Yeah, our enchanter anvil and experience obelisk are now down here. I don't know if that's going to be the permanent spot. This does need to be cleaned up just a little bit, but having a little recess like that, that's fine. And then yeah, over here I removed our nether warts that we put down here so long ago. Yeah, all of this stuff, the Embers stuff, I don't know what we're going to do with it. I'm afraid to tear it down because I feel like we might need it again. So maybe I'll just kind of wall that off. And then if we need it again, I'll poke back in there. I don't know. The walls definitely need to be cleaned up. So does the ceiling. We need to fix a little bit of this stuff, but I'll get to that eventually. But yeah, today, or at least for right now, we're going to get this monster spawner hooked up. So I made some quite clear glass. Had to kill a skeleton, drop some stuff. I made some redstone alloy so we can make ourselves these redstone conduits. Now this was pretty easy, just in the alloy smelter, redstone plus silicon. Speaking about silicon, I put 9 stacks of cobblestone into our sag mill over here. Yes, 9 stacks of cobblestones went through here, turned to gravel. The gravel got pulled back in, turned into sand. The sand got pulled back in and turned into silicon. We ended up with this much silicon out of 9 stacks of cobblestones. That's quite a lot of this stuff. But anyway, silicon plus redstone in the alloy smelter on alloys only will turn into this redstone alloy stuff. All right, sorry about that. I had to take a phone call. So now that we got the redstone alloy, we got our conduit binder, we can go ahead and make this redstone conduit stuff. I'm not really sure how many of these we need. I think 48 is probably going to be too much. We just want to have this so we can attach it to our RESTURBED mob spawner and turn it on and off with the flip of a lever and not have this going constantly, right? Okay, so now that we got that, we have our mechanism for killing. We have a way of turning this off. I guess we'll also want a lever, right? So we got one of those. We'll need to get ourselves the conveyor belt or whatever. I think that's from Dark Utilities. Yeah, vector plates are what these things are called. We looked at these a little bit before. But yeah, this is how they are made. So we need a piece of sugar or honey and then some kind of a slime ball, and that gives us 4 vector plates. So we're going to need, I think, up to 81 of those for a 9x9 on the inside. So we'll need a few of these. So it does require 2 stone, sugar, and then the slime ball. And we got a lot of these purple slimes and we got a lot of the blue slimes. I think we'll go and use the blue. Yeah, that should be more than enough. We'll just make a stack of those. We are out of sugar. We are out of sugar cane. Oh no. We should have plenty of sugar cane actually over here. Let's go ahead and grab some of these. I did move our mallow berries over to this area. Yeah, I took down one of the rows. I think we're gonna get rid of those. Just kind of, yeah, it's in the way over there. So I moved them over to this side. Cool. So anyway, we can go ahead and just break a lot of these sugar canes. Oop, I broke a little bit too many there. I want to make sure we still have these planted so we can grow more later. All right, that should be more than enough sugar. 33 sugar. I think we should be just fine. So we'll go and warp back into our place and continue our craft here. All right, so there's a stack. I don't really know. I think, well, that gives 84. That should be enough, I think. You know what? I'll just make a few more just in case. Now we can turn these into the next tier simply by putting them into the crafting grid like so. But to upgrade them to the next tier, as we saw before, we do need to use a dark sugar, which is withered dust wrapped with sugar, and that gives us 8 of those. I don't know if we're gonna need those. I think the fast version of these are quite quick enough. We'll place one down. Yeah, I mean, I can't really walk past it. It keeps me on this side. Oh wow. Hold on, let's check that out. Yeah, that moves them fast enough. I think you need a pick for those. Cool. Anyway, I think that's gonna work. So next step is I need to build the room, put the spawner in place, get the redstone, all this stuff, and then we will look at hooking up the killing mechanism for him. All right, guys. So just started the very early stages of this spawner and killing area. So yeah, like I said, we made the drop tube 5 blocks tall. And then I'm building out the platform right now. Since this is 3x3 in the center, 5x5 on the outside, we want to make this a total of 9x9. So that would be a 7x7 and then 9x9 right here. And then we have the outer wall. The next thing we need to do is bring out the builder's wand here and make our lives a little bit easier. Is bring this out a little bit like so. I think should be just fine. You got to be careful with the builder's wand because that's going to place blocks where I don't want them. Anyway, I guess we'll be able to do a little bit of these edges simpler than clicking every single block by hand, so that should be just fine. There we go. Yeah, our killing area, or I guess our mob spawner, is definitely starting to come together a little bit. So I'll have to place a little bit of these by hand. Oh, no, you can hold shift, it looks like. Holding shift only will go like that. That should be just fine. Yep, and then we can bring this out. Ow! That skeleton dingo. All right. Yep, and we'll just go ahead and finish this up just like so. All right, let me continue this and then we'll be back, guys. All right, guys, so this is what we got right now for our mob spawner. I know it's not very great, but this will get the job done. I'll look at making this more aesthetic in the future. We also have a bunch of glass that we can use too, maybe down here for the killing area. I'm not really sure. We might have to use dark glass, but anyway, this is 9x9 on the inside, this is 3x3 on the inside, and this is what the structure looks like now on the inside here. Yep, so that's what we got. This is where the spawner is going to go. We got 2 blocks of space above the spawner so monsters can spawn all over the place in here, and then 1 block below the spawner they'll be spawning directly above the spike, or they'll be spawning over here on the platform. Either way, this should be maximum efficiency. Okay, so now we got to do a few things here. I did make a Yeta wrench earlier. Yeah, this is the Ender IO wrench. We need to connect that to this block up here, and we got a lever up there. Let's go up 1 level. Whoop. Let me click right there. Yeah, so we got a lever above this block. That's what we're going to do for right now, and then we need that thing to be attached. Doesn't look like we have a very good angle to do this. Can I? Nope, I can't land right there. Nope. Let's see. I guess we'll just pillar up is how we're gonna have to do this. Maybe we'll have to break out some blocks here. Okay, that should be fine. Anyway, we will click that, not shift click it. We just need to click it once so it attaches to the block. Shift clicking it removes it. There we go. So now that forces the attachment. Yeah, so now that's attached to this block. So when I flip that lever, this thing should light up. Let's go ahead and give that a try here. Yeah, that's lit. unlit. All right, so that should be fine. We'll also have to force the attachment down here so it attaches to the spawner. I don't think it'll attach naturally. So we'll just do that to this block. That should be fine. Now when I break this, I should be able to put the spawner there. All right, so we will say always on, redstone off. So this should work whenever the redstone's off. When the redstone's on, this thing should be disabled. And we can also add speed upgrades in here to further increase the speed of the spawner. All right, so we'll get rid of these extra torches that we have. And now we need to do the old placing down the vector plates action. All right, so we'll get these things all placed in here. Whoop, and I'm gone. Yeah, you gotta be careful with the placement. I think you can shift on these. Yeah, you can shift on them and they don't send you off flying. So I'll have to make sure I remember to do that as I'm placing these things. So the way I like placing them is so the cardinal directions are all facing towards the center, right? Like so, and then you got the corners to worry about. What do you do for those? Normally what I do is I face them all the same direction. So we will just extend them this way like this. So if anything spawns here, they'll move over to these vector plates and then those will push them over. So if I'm a witch, I get pushed over here and then down, right? I think that works just fine. So I'll just continue that pattern for the rest of these and then we'll be back, guys. All right, guys, so we got all the vector plates placed up above and then down below we have a spike in the center. And similar to the same pattern we did up above, we have the vector plates on the cardinal directions facing into the spike. And on the corners, we have them facing into the next one that's going to a cardinal direction. So no matter where the witches fall down here, they should be either on top of the spike or being pushed into one of the sides. Now the spike does do damage no matter where you are. Like if you're just being pushed into the side of it, it does do damage to you. So yeah, all the witches should be taking damage just as long as they're anywhere in this area, which is exactly what we want. So the next thing we need to do is we need to fill this in full of glass. Well, for right now, we'll fill it in full of the quite clear glass. We'll have to get whichever or however the dark quite clear glass is made so it doesn't allow light to pass through. We should give this thing a test and just make sure that this is going to work as we want. Oh, I do need to light up out here too. I don't want anything spawning on top of the mob spawner. It's regular monsters, creepers, whatever. Yeah, so let's light that up. We turn that on. It should be allowing witches to spawn. I'm not sure how long it takes for that spawner to spawn in monsters. It is perfectly dark in there. If we turn off our night vision, we can look up and just see pitch blackness. So yeah, it should spawn in witches as soon as they are able to. And then, oh, there we go. Yeah. Cool. All right, so we got all sorts of goodies in there. So we'll have to figure out how we're going to collect this stuff, where we're going to put these different things and all that kind of stuff. That's going to be our next task. All right, guys, so now we have a good amount of all the different drops that these witches are going to be dropping. You can kind of verify that these are all that they drop. If you go to, for instance, a witch hat, you go to the recipe on that and it'll show from mob drops, the witch is going to drop it along with these other 7 items. So there's a total of 8 items that the monster will drop. And then I'm not 100% sure, but I think we got a solidified experience from one of them. So we might have a 9th item. Anyway, I wanted to just keep a small quantity of these items, so we'll use one of these 2x2 drawers. You get 4 of them in one craft. But yeah, we'll just use one of these 2x2 drawers for all of these. And then we're gonna want to put like a void upgrade in there. So if we get above the 4 stacks or 8 stacks that each one of these compartments holds, it'll just go away. We'll still be able to collect the items, it won't back up, but yeah, we'll just get rid of them. So let's make ourselves a void upgrade. In fact, we're probably gonna want void upgrades for all of these. So we're gonna want like 5 of these. And we have enough for all that. Great. So yeah, we have the large drawer for the items that we want large quantities of. The redstone, gunpowder, spider eye. Not necessarily need a whole lot of those, but we might as well. And then glowstone dust. Although, seriously, I guess spider eye could be added over here into like one of these smaller containers, but it's fine. So once these fill up, they will be voided out. And we can also upgrade those further with, I forget what they're called. Let's just search for upgrade. Let's go and find the rest of them. Yeah, we're going to want storage upgrades. So in order to make a storage upgrade 5, we need 4 emeralds, 4 sticks, and then an upgrade template. So it's not crazy expensive for those, but we still don't have a great way to get emeralds. So we could do diamonds, which we have a fair few of, or gold, which we have even more of, to upgrade that capacity just a little bit more. All right, so now that we got all that, we're going to want a way to get the items into these drawers. So there's a couple of ways we could do that. We could use a item conduit in each one of the drawers, or we can use the drawer controller, which is probably the better way of doing it. In this mod pack, obviously, the recipe has been changed from the default. We need pewter ingots, which is made in the metal alloyer with 5 tin, 1 copper, 1 bismuth, and 1 lead grit. I think we have all of this stuff available, but we do have to make the ingots for that. It also requires 2 packet filters from the packet filter mod. I'm not sure what a packet filter is. That might be something I'll have to look up. But that's not super expensive, just some iron, a piston, hopper, and a book. All right, so we can do that. It does require some kind of a drawer. We have an extra one from our 2x2 drawers that we made, and then it also requires a refined storage crate, which is iron rods, iron plates, some treated wood planks, and then finally a wooden storage crate, which is more treated wood planks. So that's not super difficult to do. It's something that we should be able to do. So that's going to be the next step. I'll go ahead and make one of these. Otherwise, we could just attach item conduit to each one of these drawers. But I think just having the one drawer controller makes more sense. So I'll go and make this, and then we'll be back, guys. All right, guys. So making the pewter ingots wasn't that bad. We already had a lot of the treated planks, so the drawer controller is pretty easy to go ahead and craft up. So now that we got all of these things, the other things we got to figure out is how we're going to collect items and how we're going to collect the experience. Now, previous mod packs would use something called a vacuum hopper, but we don't have a vacuum hopper in here. I was looking for something like an item collector. We don't have that. We do have these 2 Ender IO vacuum items though, the XP vacuum and the vacuum chest. So this one pulls nearby items into its inventory, and this one pulls nearby XP orbs and pushes them into adjacent tanks or conduits. It needs to be activated with liquid XP. I guess that means this thing will only push items if it has XP, or I don't know if it has to use XP as a fuel. I'm not 100% sure on the wording of that. Anyway, so we need to get ourselves 14 tongue steel, because both of these use that. We need pulsating crystals, so that's pulsating iron around a diamond. That's pretty easy. This one requires just a regular chest, and the XP version requires the experience rod, which we had to make previously in order to make our experience obelisk. And I think we had to use that for something else, maybe. Did we? You can use that for mending. Yeah, I guess we used that for mending previously. But anyway, we should be able to make both of these fairly easily. I don't know if we have extra solarium. Yeah, it looks like we don't have any of that. So I'll have to make that stuff up. We don't have any of the tongue steel, and we made that before as well. So that is steel dust, tungsten, chromium, and cobalt. We have all of this stuff. Steel, actually, how are we doing on steel? Looks like we have enough. Yeah. So we just need to grind that up into the powder, and I do believe everything else that we need for the tungsten stuff is available over at our Rockhounding machines. So I'll go ahead and throw some of our steel into our sag mill over here. They'll turn it into steel dust, which will work just fine. Just got done doing a whole lot of iron through our furnace here. Yeah, for all the mining we've been doing underground, we've collected a lot of the magnetite, the other 2 ones, I can't remember the names, that contain iron. So I just processed those all, and yeah, now we have those ingots available. Okay, anyway, so we need the chromium and the cobalt. We have boron. I know we have all that stuff in here. I was just looking at this a minute ago, and like I was trying to search for these things, and it wasn't highlighting properly. But yeah, it looks like we have cobalt here, and then we needed chromium right there. I think just 2, right? Oh my goodness, I right-clicked and got rid of all the stuff. Let's take a look here. Yeah, so 1 cobalt, 1 chromium. We're gonna need 4 tungsten. You can double click in the search box, by the way, to highlight it yellow, and then it highlights boxes that contain what you're searching for. So 4 of those. Yep, and then we will need the 10 steel that we just sag milled over here. And then double click it again to unhighlight things. And all that goes in there, and we will make that. So let me continue on. We'll get all these things made, and then we'll try hooking them up. All right, guys, so I laid out some of our drawers over here, right? So we got our 4 1x1 drawers, and then our 1 2x2 drawer, and then we have our drawer controller. So this should be able to see all these different things since they're all touching. They're one network. On the bottom over here, we have our Ender IO vacuum chest, and then our XP vacuum directly above it. So on the vacuum chest, anything that's nearby within the range, it'll pick up. So item over here, it won't, but item over here, it'll suck it in, and then it'll go right into the vacuum chest. So you can see the range, which is kind of cool. I like that. So you can show where it's going to be picking up items from. So you can make it really big if you wanted to. Up to 6 by 6 it looks like. Or you can make it really small so it's like if anything lands on it, I think. Yeah, well I guess one block around it, so 3 by 3. We'll go ahead and leave this. I think I had it at a 3. Yeah, that should be fine. So it'll pick up everything that's inside the mob spawner. And then you can see it goes up high enough. So, and it should be low enough that it'll pick up everything that's in there. So that should be just fine. Okay, so we can turn that off. So what we want to do is just connect the chest directly to our drawer controller. We'll set this thing to an insert and we'll set this one to extract always active. And we can just kind of fill up our drawers with the different items we want. So the ones we don't want a whole lot of, like glass bottles, witch hats, sugar we shouldn't need that much of. And then what was the other one? I guess sticks. Yeah, none of those are like super important. So we'll put those right there. The ones that are more important, like gunpowder, redstone, spider eyes, I guess, which really aren't that important. Oh, you know what? I don't have my redstone. Okay, we'll have to grab some of that here in a little bit. So yeah, all of those should be set up correctly. So if we get any of these different items, they should go where we want them. So like if I take out 2 of the glass bottles, leave one in there, and I put those over here, they should get pulled out and then put right back into here. Yeah, the tooltip says we got 3 of them again. So yeah, that should work just fine. Now the XP vacuum, I'm not sure how this thing works. I've never used this before, and it does not have any kind of an interface. You can't right click on it to see anything. So we want to go get our XP obelisk, I would imagine is what we're going to want there for our tank. So let's just kind of come over here, come down, we'll grab that guy. Still don't have a great way of getting around. You know, people had said, why don't I use the travel anchors? Let's take a look at that. The travel anchors you can use along with the staff of traveling to warp even further distance and go to the exact spot you're looking at. The travel anchor in this pack is a little expensive. It does require these Ender Overseers from Botania, which is a bunch of Eyes of Ender, Obsidian, Redstone. That's not like super terrible. It does require the Teleportation Core, which requires Rose Gold Ingots, Mana Pearls, Atomic Alloys, and Unstable Ender Pearl. So I need Withered Dust for each one of those. And then the Rose Gold is another one of these recipes. So that's gold, copper, and silver in the metal alloyer. And then the Mana Pearls with the mana or the Ender Pearls through the thing. I don't think we have that many Ender Pearls at the moment that we're going to need for all of this. But yeah, that's definitely something that we could look at in the future to make warping around a lot easier. But for right now, yeah, it's a little expensive, but we can do it. But anyway, let's grab our experience obelisk here. Can I just... Oh, I guess I'm going to take everything with me. All right, well, I'll put everything back later. All right, so we got our experience obelisk. Let's bring that over to our spawner over here. Whoa. I guess the dark room's working just fine. We're spawning regular monsters in here. What did we get? All right, let's take all this stuff out. We don't want those in there. So yeah, the experience obelisk. We'll put it right there. I assume this is going to get the experience out of the XP vacuum and put it into here. We'll have to see if this thing starts collecting experience over time. Maybe I could take all the experience out and see if we get some in there. We'll have to check that out. It looks like our item conduit wants to connect to there for some reason. I'm not sure why. Let's go ahead and just disconnect that. There we go. Yeah. So hopefully the XP vacuum will push the XP into here. Otherwise, we'll have to figure out how to deal with that. And now that I'm thinking about it, it might be that these diamond spikes don't make experience. It might only be the gold one. Uh-oh. I might have made a mistake here. Mobs drop experience. Mobs drop player kill only items. Hey, you know what? We might not get experience at all from this. Okay, well, if that doesn't work, we will use this somewhere else. Just something to keep in mind. That might not work now that I'm thinking about it. As far as everything else, I think we should be good to go here to give this thing a test. So let's come up here, all the way up here, turn this thing on, let some witches spawn. Yeah, the fact that we're going to be spawning potentially other monsters in here might be an issue that we'll have to figure out. We might have to set up more storage, maybe storage for like all the different types of potential monster drops. Something to think about. Anyway, I'm going to let this run for a little while, make sure that redstone filters into the correct spot and everything else is working correctly, and we'll be back. Alright guys, so I've been letting this go for a little while now. I took all the experience out of here and I was just verifying, yeah, we're not getting any experience at all. Not the normal experience orbs like you would get when you smack a monster with a sword, right? So yeah, we're not getting any experience, so this can be removed right here. I saw that we got another style witch hat, and I saw that our vacuum hopper was filling full of these potions of healing. So I added another one of our basic drawer 2x2s up here. And then, yeah, we are in fact getting solidified experience from the monsters as well. So we need yet another drawer for that. That might be worth storing in like a bigger drawer so we can get as many of these as we possibly can. But I will have to make another void upgrade for this. But yeah, I was looking at these different witch hats. This one right here is from Quark, and it looks like you can enchant it if you wanted to. I'm not sure if that gives you any. Can you wear those? I mean, it says it's enchantable. Can we wear this? So it looks like you can. I don't know. Does that give you armor? It looks like half a shirt of armor. So I don't know if you'd really want that, but yeah, I guess that's a thing from the Quark mod. And then all the potions of healing, I'm not sure what we're going to do with those. We don't really need a whole lot of those, but that's going to fill up pretty quickly. So I do need to get a void upgrade on there. Anyway, I was thinking that we should replace the spike with the gold one. So I started down that road. I made 2 blocks of the enriched gold blocks here. Let's take a look. The spike requires golden swords and rich gold block, which is made through the calculator mod. So you need the ingots, which are crafted by smelting the enriched gold, which you get from putting gold plus obsidian dust in the regular calculator. So I made 18 of those. And then I saw that we also need to get ourselves dense gold plates. So I put 18 gold in our metal former over there to turn into the plates. And then I saw, yeah, we need a compressor in order to turn those into the dense gold plates. We don't have a compressor yet. The compressor from IC2 requires hardened stone, which is fine, but then it requires electronic circuits, which requires a thermionic fabricator and all this stuff. Now, we were kind of looking at that before, and that's going to take a little bit of work to do. We don't have any of these things set up, so we'll probably have to hold off on that until another time. But yeah, it looks like we can get this stuff done. It's just a matter of getting it all set up. So we'll have to worry about that a little bit later. But like I said, I'll get a void upgrade in here. We can remove the experience obelisk and our XP vacuum for now until we get that golden spike in there. But I think everything should be just about good to go. Guys, we're going to wrap the episode up here for today. We got ourselves a witch spawner, which is awesome, in a killing area. Eventually, we'll be able to upgrade this when we get into Draconic Evolution and we can warp monsters around. We won't need like that whole fall trap thing. Why is that? Oh, okay, that finally went in there. I guess the items are fighting against the vector plates, trying to get into that vacuum chest. Anyway, looks like that went in there just fine. But yeah, I'm really happy about this. We'll be able to collect unlimited glowstone and redstone. You know, the only other thing that we could do to make this better is we could put speed upgrades in that mob spawner. We might look at doing that here next time. But anyway, guys, that's it for today. Thank you guys for watching. Remember to leave a like on the episode if you liked it, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye.